Okay. Oh man, it has been such a long time, but it's so good to be back talking to you guys about some My Hero Academia. What is going on, guys? The Shooting Star Sheriff is here, and I'm here going to talk about. I think it's gonna be 189 to 190 or 190. I think it's gonna be 188, 189, 190. It's gonna be the wrap up of the Endeavor fight with the High Nomu and just kind of a little bit of the aftermath for that. I'm just going to pick up from where I left off. Yes, it's great to be back, guys. I'm coming back from all my travels and stuff. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it, because I'm going to go ahead and just keep pumping these out until we get all caught up so we're all nice and good. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So Endeavor is fighting this high-end Nomu, and this Nomu is like really giving him the business. He's doing everything. He uses like he comes out in this brand new suit and everything. You know, he's kind of like claiming that he's the #1 hero, which is kind of like from a few chapters ago. And then that's when we have this high-end Nomu attack, and this thing is like, it's durable, it's tough as all hell. And this thing is just not giving Endeavor the easiest of times. He's even like, I mean, he busts out like a new like super move or whatever, and it's still got no effect on the Nomu. Hawks, which Hawks is literally becoming one of my favorite characters so far in this series, which I'll kind of get into in a little bit. But from 189, from at the end of like 180, I think it's like around 188 or 189 or 190. Endeavor does take a serious blow. He does get his eye. The Nomu kind of like hits him in the eye, and everyone's like, "Oh snap!" Like, you know, like he takes like a really critical blow, and like it's being televised and it's being broadcasted like everywhere, and you know everyone's like, you know, and you know Toridoki's like, you know, Shoto, because both of the, oh god, I just kind of like just did that right there. But Shoto is kind of looking at his dad, and he's kind of, you know, and I know like him and his dad haven't had the best history, but you know he still cares about his dad. So, you know, as this fight's going on, Hawk comes in. You know, Hawk starts to back him up a little bit, because like Endeavor's like, you know, it kind of goes into a little bit more of like how Endeavor feels about like being the #1 hero now, and that like everybody, you know, was trying, you know, that like no one really, there was like always this gap between Endeavor and All Might. And you know, and Hawks kind of, you know, he kind of says like the only one who ever tried to close that gap was you, Endeavor. You were the one who tried to close that gap up. You know, you're the one who tried to, you know, you're the one who tried to stand on equal footing with this guy. Yes, sadly, Endeavor never gets the chance, because we all know what happens to All Might. But you know, it's kind of like Hawks is kind of like seeing Endeavor's resolve and kind of wanting to, you know, push him on. So Hawks is really cool, because Hawks just like he comes in, he kind of helps him out, and he's like, you know, I'm gonna like, you know, make it so where, you know, you can do the job, because you know you're the #1 hero, you know what I mean. And they basically are able to kind of finish off the high-end Nomu, where Endeavor, all beaten up, you know, he's all beaten up and everything, takes and strikes the same pose as All Might, and he's like, and Hawks is like, did you really just do that? And he's like, no, All Might always uses like his left or his right, and he's like, I just use the opposite. You know, and they kind of have like a little moment about that. Then once some other heroes kind of jump on the scene, and stuff like that as well. But just when you think all is well and done, Dobby from the League of Villains shows up, and he's just like, yo, Endeavor, what's good? And now you've got like Dobby, which he only shows up for like a brief second. He kind of has some words with Endeavor and stuff, and then he kind of like vacates the premises. He doesn't stay in too long, because more heroes start to show up to support Endeavor, And Dabi's like, all right, cool. You know, I'm not going to deal with this right now. You know, whatever. You know, I'll see you. You know, he's like, don't go dying on me now. And he calls him by his real name. He doesn't call him Endeavor. He calls, you know, and he like pieces out. But what I am super interested about is Hawks. Because like a little bit after, you see Hawks talking to Dabi. And Dabi's kind of like in cohorts with them, you know. And, like, you kind of think that, you know, Hawks is, like, this kind of traitor. Like, he's working with the League of Villains, you know, because I was like, oh, yeah, you know, we'll work up, you know, you're going to work your way up to the League of Villains, you know, be a villain. But it gets revealed, though, that Hawks is doing, like, this covert, he's kind of playing, like, double agent, basically, where, like, he's a good guy, but he's also acting as a bad, you know, he's also trying to act as it, like, giving the villains intel, I guess, or working with the villains in some kind of fashion. And he's working with them because Hawks, and this is what I really like about Hawks' character. Hawks is so much of, like, an anti-hero, and I think it's really cool to have a character like him in this dynamic where there is superheroes and villains, and everything's just kind of, up until now, I felt like everything was kind of clear cut as far as who the good guys are, who the bad guys are. Hawks is really interesting because Hawks is, he's kind of like, he gives off that real anti-hero vibe where like he's a good guy, but he's doing the things he's doing for more so the way he feels like they should be done. And like even the guys told him that kind of gave him, you know, this kind of assignment to do it. He's like, you don't care about fame, you don't care about any of that, you know, you're bright, you're sharp, you know, we need someone like you to do this kind of job because, you know, these incidents keep happening because we don't have enough knowledge about the league, so we need someone to act like they're going to be in with them, you know, in order for us to be better prepared, which I guess in a sense does make sense. But they were like, Hawks is the best person for the job. And, you know, he kind of goes into the hospital room and he looks at Endeavor. He's like, you know, I'm sorry. You know, but it's, the Hawks is, he's really interesting. Like, it's weird because there's a lot of people that don't like Hawks. And I think Hawks is a very interesting character for that reason. I think, like, the way he's kind of supporting Endeavor and, like, the, you know, and kind of, like, his little quips back and forth, like, they don't get along, but, like, there's this really cool, solid, like, I think relationship that they're building between Hawks and Endeavor, and I really want to see where that goes and where it grows from there. But those were all my thoughts on those last few chapters. Hopefully I'll get the chapter numbers sorted out right when I, like, go to, like, you know, edit it and everything. But if you guys definitely enjoyed a nice few minutes, just a few quick minutes hearing my thoughts and kind of like how I felt, I obviously did like that little bundle of chapters. They're wrapping it up, going more into Hawks' character. I thought that was definitely dope. But if I missed anything, definitely go ahead, comment it in the comment section below. I like to talk to you guys about My Hero Academia, and go on ahead and you know, like and subscribe. And, you know, if you like this kind of stuff that I do, and I'll do more of it, I guess. But anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.